On the news tonight, federal government inaugurates 10-man ministerial committee to implement local government autonomy. Nigerians express support for NLC over threat to arrest Ajaero. Judicial stakeholders task incoming CJN on reform of Nigeria justice system. And from the foreign scene, United Nations express worry over dangerous political situation in Libya. Good evening, the major report. I am Babatunde Fanuokwo. The candidates of the People's Democratic Party in the forthcoming local government election in Osun State have been admonished to build bridges and mend fences with their fellow contestants to strengthen the unity within the party. State Chairman of the PDP, Honorable Sunday BC, who gave the admonition at the presentation of certificates of returns to the candidate who will fly the flag of the party at the local government election, also appealed to aggrieved members to sheath their swords. OSBC reporter Oluchi Amuda now brings you the details of the event held at the PDP Secretariat.
As February 22, 2025, the date set aside for the local government election in Osun State draws nearer, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has presented certificates of returns to the candidates who will represent the party for the chairmanship and councillorship positions in the contest after the recently conducted primary elections in the state. In his speech at the certificates of returns presentation ceremony, State Chairman of the party, Honorable Sunday BC, stated that the event marks a significant milestone in the party's journey to consolidating democracy in the state, just as he urged the candidates to utilize their personal connections, trust and relationships built over time with the traditional voting blocs at the grassroots level. The PDP chairman also tasked the candidates to embrace their fellow contestants, heal all wounds so as to strengthen the unity within the party.
Let us work together, united in our quest for victory and progress. Let us put aside our differences and work towards a common goal to support our performing leader, the governor of Osun State, Asiwaju Dr. Ademola Jackson Nuruddin Adeleke, in his patriotic efforts to deliver dividends of democracy to our people. Let us show them that we are a party of unity, of progress, and of purpose. There is no time to mess around.
He appealed to aggrieved contestants to sheath their swords and embrace peace, noting that the party is a big family and would endeavor to navigate other opportunities for them to serve the state with assurance that no one will be left behind. One of the local government chairmanship candidates who spoke with OSBC News, Honorable Francis Olajire Agbola, expressed the determination of the candidates to work towards the victory of the party at the forthcoming election.
We believe all our people, the co-contestants, we are one even before now, and by the grace of God, throughout the contest, there was no any fights, there was no any grudges among us.
The event climaxed with the presentation of certificates of returns to the candidates of the People's Democratic Party. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
In the meantime, the federal government has inaugurated a 10-man interministerial committee to enforce the Supreme Court judgment granting financial autonomy to local governments in Nigeria. The committee, which as secretary to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, as chairman, is mandated to ensure that local governments in this country are granted full autonomy to operate effectively without interference of state governors. According to a statement by the Director of Information and Public Relations Office of the SGF, Segun Imo Hyosen, the committee was inaugurated by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The committee includes the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy as member, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Accountant General of the Federation. Others are Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Finance, and Chairman, Revenue, Mobilization and Allocation, and Fiscal Commission, among others. It noted that the effort was part of President Bola Tinubu's desire to give appropriate implementation to the provisions of the Constitution, which recognizes local government as the third tier of government. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has confirmed that the federal government incurred a debt of 5.1 trillion naira in under-recovery and energy security expenses for fuel importation in the year 2023. It also stated that a total sum of 9.38 trillion naira, described as receivables, was incurred on behalf of the federal government in 2023 for fuel imports. The national oil firm, in its financial statement for the fiscal year ending December last year, explained that 6.25 trillion naira was accrued under domestic crude oil supply and 3.14 trillion naira under other receivables. On the 5.1 trillion naira in under-recovery and energy security expenses, the firm stated that the cumulative amount spent was used as expenses from crude oil supply for domestic use and other receivables on behalf of the Federation after it instructed the company not to sell its premium motor spirit above a certain regulated price. This total cost is made up of January to May 2023 under recovery of 3.3 trillion naira and August to December 2023 energy security expense of 1.8 trillion naira. Meanwhile, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has said security operatives discovered 220 illegal refineries in Bayelsa, Rivers, Delta, and Abia State in 1 week. This was contained in its documentary titled War Run Crude Oil Theft, posted on its X handle. NNPCL said in the period under review, 33 suspects were arrested, adding that the war on crude oil theft is on as the industry-wide security collaboration on hydrocarbon infrastructure continues to record remarkable progress. It further said 33 illegal connections were also uncovered in Ikesi, in West Boma, Sapele, Brass, and Tukubu in Bayelsa State, where a vandalized pipeline is undergoing repair. It added that 15 vandalized pipelines in the wellhead were reported in Delta State, leading to 5 cases of oil spill in several sites, while 15 illegal storage sites housing reservoirs and sacks of stolen crude were seized in Delta, Rivers, and Imo State. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has transferred regulatory oversight of the electricity market in Edo to the State Electricity Regulatory Commission. This is contained in a document posted on the Commission's website as obtained by newsmen. The Commission recalled that with the Electricity Act 2023, NERC retained the role as a central regulator on the interstate and international generation, transmission, supply, trading, and system operations. The Electricity Act also mandates any state that intends to establish and regulate intrastate electricity markets to deliver a formal notification on its processes and request to NERC. According to Commission, the aim is to transfer regulatory authority over electricity operations in the state to the state regulators. Nigerians have thrown their weight behind the threats by the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, to embark on an industrial action if the police arrest the leader of the union, Comrade Joe Ajaero. Some of the people who spoke in separate interviews with OSBC News described the allegations leveled against the labor leader as unfortunate, saying that it may affect the quick implementation of the new minimum wage. Our reporter, Temilolua Omoyeni, completes the story.
The invitation given to the national president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajaero, by the Nigeria Police over charges of terrorism, financing, criminal conspiracy and treasonable felony, has continued to generate reactions among Nigerians. The members of the union are threatening to launch a mass protest and industrial action if anything happened to Ajaero, as they urge the police to shift the date of Ajaero's appearance for questioning. Members of the union have vowed to shut down operations across the country if any harm comes to their leader, insisting the allegations are an attempt to remove Ajaero from the office. While reacting to the development, two retired Labour leaders in Osun State, Comrade Wale Oyeniyi and Comrade Kehinde Adigun, said the threats of the NLC are in order. They alleged that it is a plot by the government to delay the implementation of the new minimum wage.
They just wanted to rope him and silence him. They want silence, They didn't want him to talk again. That's what they are planning. So, if he was arrested, Labour Trade Center, Labour Organization now, they are supposed to react. If truly they are Labour, they're supposed to react. They just have to react. A reaction now that government will understand, people will understand, is protest and strike action.
Now, the police have every authority to call someone for interview. It's just an interview. But the way things are going in the country, you can't go to the police station. They will find 1, 2, or 3 things that they will add to what they are expecting from you. And we knew what is going on with the national president of the NLC, that is Comrade Joe Ajaero, about what is going on, about whether it's a party in the politics. They can rope in with every other thing. But in view of this, they say that if this thing happens, that's why he was consulted with the lawyer, that if he wants to go, they have to inform the lawyer, because if you dare go by yourself, they can detain him. And what we are saying is this: what is going on about this salary wages increase, that we want this, we want that, and they knew if they take him into the custody, it may take another dimension, because they don't want him to finish his tenure.
They called on Nigerians to demand for good governance, urging the government to stop engaging in diversionary tactics that do not address the needs of the people. Temilolu Amoyeni reporting for OSBC News.
The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, has assured of the commitment of the federal government to the welfare of military officers. Senator Akpabio gave the assurances when he inaugurated the remodeled officers' mess of the National Defense College in commemoration of the graduation of the college's course 32 in Abuja. He said the government, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, had shown unwavering support for the armed forces, adding that the mess project is yet another example of such commitment. Senator Akpabio also gave assurance of the government commitment towards timely completion of the college's permanent site at PUAE, adding that the Senate would ensure adequate provision for the project in the year 2025 budget. The Senate President commended the commandant and staff of the college for the giant strides being made by the college to becoming a global center of learning for military officers from across the world. Senior lawyers, activists, and stakeholders in the nation's justice system have called on the incoming Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, to reform the judiciary. They noted that a complete overhaul of Nigeria's judiciary is essential to restore public confidence in this arm of government. Two professors of law, Ernest Ojukwu and Samuel Erugo, alongside other panelists at a roundtable discussion in Abuja, lamented the state of Nigeria's judiciary. Additionally, the panelists urged Kekereekun to be prepared to reform judicial appointments to eliminate nepotism and favoritism. The stakeholders want the incoming CJN to address the issue of conflicting judgments and orders issued by courts of coordinate jurisdiction in the interest of both the judiciary and the public. Furthermore, the panelists urged the new head of the judiciary to prioritize discipline and accountability as a means of restoring public confidence in the judiciary. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has declared the on-street parking scheme, otherwise known as the Park and Pay scheme, to be illegal, citing fraud in the contract agreement between the managing contractors and the FCT. The minister made this statement during a media briefing to mark his first year in office as the FCT minister. Report says the scheme, initially introduced in 2014, was reintroduced in 2023 after the FCT administration signed a whopping Naira 8.3 billion Naira agreement with concessionaires with an estimated 26.93 billion revenue for a 10-year term each. However, Wike said he was unaware of the reintroduced scheme, noting that the agreement has stipulated an 80% payback to the contractors, with only 20% of the total to be remitted to the administration. He added that he had since directed that a statement be released to inform residents that the scheme was illegal, emphasizing that people should not be made to pay for parking in front of their businesses or places of residence. No fewer than 30 kidnappers, including members of the Biafra autopilot, had been gunned down in shootouts with security operatives at various locations across Enugu State in the past 2 weeks. This was contained in a statement by Governor Peter Umba's media office, which revealed the success of a joint security operation deployed to rescue some kidnapped victims at Ugogo Nekokwi Road. According to the statement, the operation led to the killing of a 7-man gang kidnappers at Ogbeke Nike, where the kidnappers used a large poultry farm to hide their hostages. It explained that the successful operation was part of the sustained effort of flush-out criminals operating from other neighboring states, including kidnappers, unknown gunmen, and other unscrupulous elements. In a related development, the Nigerian Air Force said that the airstrikes by its fighter jets have neutralized key terrorist commanders and 35 foot soldiers and destroyed their logistics base in the Arena area located at southern Tumbunts of Borno State. This was contained in a statement made available to newsmen in Abuja by NAF spokesman Air Vice Marshal Edward Gabwet. According to the statement, a decisive effort was made to weaken the activities of terrorists operating in the northeast while also protecting innocent civilians and own troops. The statement added that credible intelligence revealed that 5 key terrorist leaders were either killed or severely injured in the strikes. It explained that battle damage assessment after the strikes revealed that several equipment, vehicles, water vessels, and suspected medical dispensary were obliterated by the strikes. He, however, said the Nigerian Air Force remained committed to supporting the efforts of the armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies in safeguarding the region and ensuring peace and security. You are welcome to our sports segment. Super Eagles forward Cyril Dezes has reportedly turned down a big money move to Major League Soccer club in Atlanta United. Miriam Olaiwola has the details of the story and more from the sports scene.
The 29-year-old Super Eagle forward Cyril Dezes netted 22 goals in all competitions for the Jews last season. According to the newsmen, Rangers and Atlanta United were close to reaching a $6 million deal, but the switch was not agreed on players' side. The former Feyenoord striker has already started on a positive note this time, with the 3 goals already for the light blue. Dezes arrived in Govan last summer for a reported €4.5 million fee when Michael Bowley was in charge. Atlanta have previously had success in the Scottish markets, having snapped up Gregors Gilmarkis from Celtic before selling him on to the Cruz Azul earlier this year. Bayelsa United coach Ladan Boso and Enugu Rangers handler Fidelis Ilechukwu have distanced themselves from the rumors linking them to the Super Eagles job as assistants to the new incoming coach. According to the reports, a new coach is expected to be announced for the Super Eagles in the coming days ahead of the 2025 African Cup of Nations matches against Benin Republic and Rwanda next month. Ex-Sweden coach Jenny Anderson is in pole position to become Nigerian news following the untimely resignation of Finidi George 2 months ago. Meanwhile, coach Boso, who has been in charge of the Flying Eagles on different occasions, and Fidelis Ilechukwu has dispelled the rumors which identified them as coach Anderson's potential assistants. Some basketball enthusiasts have urged the Nigeria Basketball Federation to ensure the country builds on the laudable outstanding of the senior women's basketball team, the Tigers, at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Basketball coach Stephen Jones said they all saw what the Tigers did at the Olympics and that they deserve every accolade they received. He added that it is only wise that the NBBF see how they can build on the success achieved at the Olympics. The Tigers opened their campaign with a shocking 75-54 victory against Australia, which was their first win in the Olympics in 20 years. They lost by the same margin to France in their second game before defeating Canada 79-70 in their final group game to qualify for the quarter-finals, becoming the first African team to make it beyond the group phase in the history of Olympic basketball. Miriam Olaiwola reporting for OSBC.
Coming from the foreign scene, the United Nations top official in Libya has told the Security Council that the recent situation in the Maghreb country has complicated effort for a negotiated political solution. Anjola Agbola has the details of this story and more from the foreign scene.
Over the past 2 months, the situation in Libya has worsened quite rapidly in terms of political, economic, and security stability. Unilateral acts by Libyan political, military, and security actors have increased tension, further entrenched institutional and political divisions, and complicated efforts for a negotiated solution. Libyan Ambassador Taha al-Sunni told the council that the only possible solution is for Libya to put an end to divisions and remedy the precarity of institutions through free, transparent, and inclusive elections. Reports say the recent events likely to inflame tensions in the divided nation include the disputed sacking of the central bank governor. A boat accident on the Lukeni River in western Congo has left at least 20 people dead and hundreds missing. Kutu Territory Administrator Jacques Monji stated that the motorized wooden boat was carrying about 300 passengers and was sailing at night when it collided with a sunken barge. It is the latest fatal boat accident in the Central African country, which at least 20 bodies were found during the search, while another 46 people were rescued with hundreds still missing. According to Governor Lebon Kevan of Mandobe province, night navigation is illegal in Congo and a provincial commission is currently at the site of the accident to determine who is responsible. Congolese authorities have often warned against overloading and promised to punish those who violate maritime transport safety measures. At least 3 teachers at a school in Bosnia and Herzegovina have been killed during a meeting after a gunman suspected to be the school's former janitor opened fire in the building with an automatic rifle. According to report, the shooting took place at the Sansky Most Gymnasium Secondary School in northwest Bosnia, while another person was reportedly injured in the attack and was taken to the hospital. Report says the investigations are ongoing on the incident, in which the deceased have been identified as school director Nejat Alilovic, English teacher Gadona Misvan, and secretary Nisveta Klonjnik. It was learned that the alleged suspect, named Vukali, opened fire at the school's director and other employees before attempting to kill himself. Vukali, who had a dispute with the school management before opening fire, is expected to recover from a self-inflicted chest wound after he has been taken to the hospital. Angela Agbola reporting for OSBC News.
And that ends the major report on OSBC TV. It was edited by Kayode Adebayo. I am Babatunde Fanowoko. Thank you for watching. Good night.